I'm Daily Crypto, and this is your BTC update. So we're going to take a look at the larger picture really quickly so we can establish what's going on in the market. I'm going to go ahead and turn on our larger picture so we can see here we have price been descending since it broke out of this wedge, creating a series of lower highs and lower lows. Now this isn't a perfect channel that we find ourselves in, although we do have quite the depth for a range on the low side, and there's some other infrastructure in here that we're going to talk about in just a moment. But as we can see, price is playing within a pretty nice downtrend channel. There's going to be opportunities to short sell the rallies, so that is where you get these opportunities here along this trend line. And here we can also take note of these boxes. So the red boxes are going to be, in this case now, they're going to be used as resistance once we target back up towards them. But right now to the downside, we're looking at this line right here potentially if we get past a swing low. And then we have this box down here from some price action back in 2020. So now I'll go ahead and turn on our active structure with the bear flags that we've recently seen. So this was a bear flag target that filled completely, and we're out of that date range now. So some of the last bearish indications that we could be coming towards the bottom now rely just upon this final bear flag here. We have price trending along previous all-time high, which is orange line here, 19666, and then we have this swing low where price actually broke below that. So this recent swing low broke down to about 17.5. That's where we saw Bitcoin. If it doesn't hold there, if it breaks below previous all-time high of 2017, doesn't hold at the current swing low or the most recent swing low, then we could see price descend back into the 16.3 region. If not, then dipping possibly all the way down to 12.5, as long as it stays within this patterns right here, within this structure. So if we get a break above this, we can potentially consider targeting towards this zone. If we can sustain there, we'll talk about that when we get there. So now if we zoom in just a little bit closer to see where our immediate forecast is, we're playing this bear flag here, and I'm the boy who cried bear flag, it seems, but that's the active structure that we've been dealing with for quite some time now. We saw that break below right here. With an adjusted trend line, we can see that this was a sort of ascending wedge, but still clearly a bear flag. Price spilled up to the top side. I've simply readjusted the top line to fill these parameters right here. So when we get into this, we can see that price actually broke out here into this. It was a descending wedge. If I throw another one on top here, and normally when we're looking for this to break, we're looking for an upside break. So that's what we were all waiting for. However, it did get rejection right here from that point and actually broke down below. So now we can't really play the structure as confidently as we would have if it would have just broken above the first time. So that's why that trend line isn't there in the active structure. And you can see that we were trying to use this as support, but we actually ended up using the very top of it as resistance. We used this zone back over here from this very, very brief moment in time where we played that pattern. So that was extending to the high and the low. And we can see here price tried to chase back up through that. If I could ever scroll over, price tried to trace back up through that and poke its head out, but it also ran into some conflict from this descending line right here based off of those 2 points. So we have quite a bit of resistance that we're looking at right now, which leads us to the conclusion we haven't seen the bottom for Bitcoin. And again, if we start targeting below this bear flag break, if we see and measure the X and Y from the entry, from the break of the last structure into the divot or valley of price action within this next bear flag, we got about 40%. So if we're looking at another 40% slam from even the top here, could very well put us back into that range, at least 14.3. And then if we do it from the actual breakout, which we've been waiting for, 40% easy back into 12.5k range. And I don't want to be a bear. I'm just saying, guys, if that's what's happening, we need to be aware of it, and we can take our short opportunities when we find them. That's what we're going to be looking out for, guys, on the short term. Now, again, we could get this bounce. I feel like I've been saying this for the past few weeks, but that's the structure we're playing in. As you can see, TA works. We've been stuck in this structure, but haven't been able to sustain above or below. Again, if we adjust that to right here, you see it poked out on the top and the bottom. So there's a lot of liquidity traps involved here. Everyone's trying to get the most out of this formation, and once it breaks, things could get very hectic. So look out for that downside break, and if we do get support here, break over that line, look, and we can target back to the top of the bear flag. Even if we go to the readjusted one, there could be some targets or take profits in this area. If there's a bounce right here, there has to be a bounce right here. If price comes down and breaks to the downside in this scenario, then we are looking at trouble. Whenever we see a retest at this point and a break below this line, that spells out trouble. But on the flip side, if price does get this bounce up right here, it can manage to break above that downtrend line and sustain price action in these levels, then we can look to target potentially in this area right here for TP, or maybe somewhere along this trend line for TP. So that's what we're going to be looking out for. I got a couple live streams lined up where I'm going to be analyzing altcoins suggested by you, the audience, live. We're also going to do a couple presentations over 3 commas and some other insightful things. So take a look at my scheduled events, see if you can make any of them. We'd love to have you there. See you at the next one.